The Warhorses have come to town. The Oceanside Land Sharks, who got bumped out of the playoffs a few years ago down in Barnwell, South Carolina, get a shot of redemption tonight as the Warhorses are here to face the Oceanside Land Sharks in round 3 of the 2A playoffs. And Chris Swisher, Robert Brunson here with you tonight along with Dion Welch. And Chris, what are you thinking as we get ready for this ball game?
Well, it's certainly, first of all, good to be with you as always, big dog. There we are.
I'm back.
And Neon, I'm glad you're back as well. It was fun making fun of you on air for the while, but good to have you back up here with us. I'll tell you, this is going to be a great game. The Warhorses
making fun of him right here too.
Yeah, we can still make fun of him. You're right. Warhorses are at 8-4. They've had a really strong season. They are incredibly well coached. Coach Brian Smith. They're averaging about 29 and a half, 30 points a game. They're giving up 22 points a game. Compared to Oceanside, we're scoring 28 and a half and giving up only 9 points a game. So it's evenly matched there. They've got a tremendous quarterback. Cameron Austin is great. They've got a couple sets of brothers, the Peoples and the Creeches. Logan Sturkey's a great wide receiver for them, as well as Kazir Wesley, number 13. So they've got some weapons. Now, they've only got 4 seniors on the roster, but don't let them fool you. They're a young team, and they're pretty powerful. They're pretty potent. So I think it's going to be an evenly well-matched game. We'll see. We know what the defense is going to give us. Every week, led by Coach Dave Salazzo, Coach Brent LaPrade, and Coach Jay Pryor. Offensively, we've opened the doors, right? Unfortunately, with Edward Reidenbach on the sideline, we've now got a different offensive setup. 49-0 against Woodland, and then 42-0 against Lee Central. So we can score points, but this is a much stronger, better defense than we've seen in the playoffs.
Sharks defense, as you point out, have yet to give up a single point in the playoffs. And, of course, let's not forget, before we got into the playoffs, in the final game of the regular season, the Sharks lost our starting quarterback, Edward Reidenbach, also the freshman phenom running back. And that's really changed the offensive approach to the game. We've been rotating 3 quarterbacks in and throwing the ball all over the field.
I think we're going to see Aiden Manavian come out to start the game. You'll see Will Virgilio back at quarterback, and probably see Tanner Swisher as well. The recipe's worked pretty well so far, Big Dog, so I'm not sure we're going to change it up a whole lot. So,
well, speaking of Big Dog, I've been in touch with my people down in Allendale and Barnwell today at the Big Dog radio station, and they're not covering this game this time. Last time they carried the Barnwell game when we played them. They are in Hampton County, and that's who we would be facing next in a home game, as I understand it, if we're able to win this one. Hampton County playing, I think, Andrew Jackson.
Yes, yep, you got that right. Both 2 really good squads as well, too. And I'll tell you, before I forget, I had a chance to chat with Coach Chad Greer, who's going for his 3rd consecutive state title against Rabun Gap tonight up north. I'll tell you, this game from 2019, we lost 42-31. We came out of the gates really slow. We shot ourselves in the foot a couple times. But this is one of those games, and Coach Greer's words say it still haunts him and hurts him. He wants that one back.
I can still see that linebacker named Deshaun Watson.
Yep,
he
number
was
3.
all over the field, man. He didn't wind up playing in college, and that was a surprise to me because he definitely had the skills. But this Barnwell team, I'm sure you all know, has a tradition. Every year they're in the playoffs and have been for decades. This is not anything new to them. These guys have been there and done that. They will not be intimidated by being on the interstate right under the airport takeoff runway and right next to a train station with a whole bunch of land sharks across the field. They're going to be ready to go. And we're making some technical adjustments here before we get started, so bear with us for just a second. The Sharks are gathering underneath the Sharks' mouth over there, getting ready to run off onto the field. We've got a light drizzle here and this artificial turf at the unfortunately named stadium, CCSD number 4. This artificial turf is going to be maybe a little bit slippery, Swish.
Yeah, I was out earlier and felt it. All the rain we had yesterday and today, it's incredibly dry, actually. But when right before about 10 minutes ago, we just got hit with a couple little squalls, and it's a little slick out there right now.
Well, let's hope everybody's got on their right set of shoes for this type of field as the Oceanside captains come over here and get ready to walk out onto the field. Ben Britton, number 54, out there along with Trey Brown and Finn Johnson. It's good to see Finn walking on his own power now after he was knocked out early on in the season. And there's our other wounded warrior, Edward Rodenbach, coming out on crutches as the captains for our team getting ready to go out and meet Barnwell. The Barnwell captains include number 9, Cameron Austin. He's that quarterback. He's a threat running the ball and throwing the ball as well. Number 2, also Logan Sturkey out there, as well as number 3, Jordan Peoples. And number 75, it looks like, one of their big offensive linemen, Tony Cherry. He's a junior captain for the Warhorses.
Hey, a couple quick caveats here before we get started. Want to welcome in any Barnwell Warhorse fans that are listening in. We are a couple of few Oceanside dads that love putting these broadcasts out there for grandparents and family and opponents that can't get to the game tonight. So we'll try to keep it as even as possible, but sometimes we do get excited. And the other one I got after the game, literally, by the time I got back to Oceanside, C.J. Moscos was mad at us for not giving him credit for blocking that punt against Woodland last week. So I had to give that one out to him as well, too. So not only do our fans listen, but our boys listen to it right afterwards. And so we're hoping to have a good, clean, safe, healthy game tonight. Again, light drizzle. The field might be a little slick. But, man, what a beautiful stadium designed by the Revere Group. I've got to get that in one more time, too. So.
Yeah, we're getting ready for a whole bunch of Mex 1 first downs and touchdowns here today as the Sharks get ready to run out onto the field from the big Sharks Head. We've got set up on the end zone over to our right side as the referees are now meeting with the captains at midfield to see who's going to kick it, who's going to receive it, who's going to get it in the second half, all of which could come into play as important factors.
Boy, 75 is a big man.
He is, and as I noted earlier, 75 is a junior.
Wow.
That's Tony Cherry. He plays offense and defensive line. I'm sure a lot of these Barnwell players are going to be playing both ways. Although you said earlier you didn't think that was the case.
Yeah,
so we'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll see if.
Typically, Barnwell does have a lot of players that go both sides.
We've got about 48 on the roster. We're carrying 62. Oceanside won the toss, deferred. We will be kicking, and so our heavily vaunted defense will come out on the field first.
We'll give that defense a chance to show these Warhorses what they can do, how they've already shut down their first 2 opponents here in the playoffs. And the captains are headed back over to their teammates as the smoke comes out of the teeth of that big shark smoking his cigarette just before we get this game ready to go.
Never gets old, does it?
And there they are. Ben Britton, number 54, the guy who is headed to West Point next year to play football for them, carrying the flag out there on the field.
Man, I'm looking. We've got 10 wounded warriors out there that are not in dress. We've got some crutches. I don't see any slings. That's a good thing. But, of course, Edward Reidenbach being our QB1.
12. You're missing the 2 captains.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So, and Fenn Johnson, man, what a blow that is as well, too. But, man, I'm so excited about tonight. I've been waiting for this. I was out of town all week, and I couldn't wait to get back here and get my football fix in with the big dog and the fellas here. So.
And the Hosses are coming out onto the football field, ready to face off against Oceanside, a team that has yet to beat them.
I want you to say Warhorses about 1,000 times tonight because I love how you say that.
That is the plan. There's only one way to say that word.
Warhorse.
Warhorses. You're going to get it. Even a man from Indiana can fake that.
I'm Southern now because I'm freezing and it's not even that bad yet. So
yeah, it wasn't supposed to be cold here tonight. I did bring a jacket.
Well, you know what I did bring?
Oh yeah, some of that Indiana chili. And
chili.
I'm ready
some
for
peanut
halftime.
butter. Jelly? Peanut butter?
Straight peanut butter. Dip it down in there, and it is delicious. I brought some accoutrements as well, too.
So that is pretty good.
Oh, my goodness. If you can say warhorses, you can say accoutrements. And the receiver has it on the 10-yard line up to the 20. Just two of the Oceanside players were sufficient to bring him down. And the Hosses are going to have it at about their 21-yard line. Looked like number 8 was the return man. That's Jeremiah Eady.
Maxie Mormon on the stick there early. Max is going to have a big night. I think Miles Robinson's excited to have a big night. Let's see what these guys come out and do. They like to throw the ball about 60% of the time.
Their quarterback is the man to keep your eye on, and this time he's going to just hand it off to his running back. Haas is trying to establish a running game here early. Lose a yard on that one as the quarterback handed it off to Nehemiah Brown. So now I said they lost a yard. Looks like they didn't lose and didn't gain. So now it's second down, 10 yards to go. 4 wideouts for the Warhorses. They throw it and they run it. Fairly balanced offense. Quarterback keeper. The Sharks know to keep an eye on number 9. They bring down Cameron Austin before he can pick up much there. Looks like he got 2 or 3. Now it's 3rd and 7.
So there, Robert. Big Mike and Sawyer Arnold in the backfield had him for a loss, but he did a good job of getting a couple of yards. So
Swish and I are all excited tonight. We keep talking over each other. Bear with us. We'll get a rhythm going here in a minute as the quarterback rolls out to his right. Has no receiver there. Nate Sturm, number 2, on the coverage. Looked like maybe that wide receiver turned the wrong way on that route.
That or he slipped. So let's keep an eye on that. I think you're onto something there. It might be just that little dusting just made this turf. It's so shiny, the sheen on it, as you can see from the camera. But it is a little extra slick.
So early on their first drive, Barnwell is going to have to kick this one off to the Hosses. I can't see who that is we have deep. Probably number 8, Gavin Gaspar.
Yes.
Indeed, that's what it is. It's a bad snap. It bounced.
Come on.
The punter incredibly able to get it off. My goodness, I don't know how he managed that. It hit right at the 50, rolled into our territory. It looks like we're going to have it right on the 50-yard line.
Decent field position for us to start off.
Terrible snap there, hit the ground about 5 feet in front of the punter, and somehow he managed to grab it and get it going.
He did a great job. It was going to get blocked. He moved to his left, got off a decent kick. I mean, credit to him.
As we see our 2 tackles, number 70, Mike Jones, and number 54, Ben Britton, out there with our offensive line. It looks like the freshman, Aiden Manavin, is going to be starting at quarterback, and he's handing it off right away to the running back. That's going to be Strickler, number 22.
Nope.
I think. No,
that was actually
7.
That was Will.
That's Will Virgilio, who plays a little bit of quarterback, a little bit of running back, a little bit of wide receiver.
A little bit of everything.
Will can do it all, and we're going to move him all around. And now I see Mike Strickler, 22, running out onto the field as we send off one of our wide receivers.
Gavin Welch.
And that's going to leave us with just 2 wideouts. We're going with 2 tight ends. We put Will in motion, fake the sweep, and then throw it over to Gaspar, I think, on the left side. That one bounced off incomplete. Now we're going to have a 3rd down and 7, just like the Horses were facing on their drive.
So Manavian coming off. Looks like Will be in at quarterback. We're going to see a shuffle of cues tonight, I think. Again, like I said earlier, the recipe has worked so far, so let's see what we come up with here. I'm going to imagine Will's going to use his legs.
It's almost a wildcat situation when we have Virgilio at the quarterback spot. He's got a running back with him, but he just blocks for Will. But the Warhorses come in and close right away, and the Sharks only pick up 3 yards, now facing a 4th down and 4.5.
Ooh, I don't know if you saw that, but Ben Britton and number 44 for Barnwell were going at it. Let's watch that matchup all night because those are going to be a fun one. Who's 44 for them?
That's Clayton Zissett.
Uh-oh.
Zizit is, I think, the way you probably say that.
We're going for it.
And we are. Early on, the Sharks showing a lot of confidence in their offense. We put a man in motion. Handoff, no, it's going to be a Virgilio keeper. Not enough for a first down. And that's a turnover on downs on the first drive for the Sharks. And the confidence in the offense a little bit misplaced there as this Barnwell team showing they know how to play defense.
I usually don't like punting. I like the early aggressiveness, but got a chance to pin them deep early.
Barnwell had we were looking to run a triple option there, it looked like. And
You're right.
Barnwell had it defended pretty well.
I called it confidence in the offense. That may have been more confidence in our defense. As now the Hosses have it in their own territory at the 41-yard line. Number 9 throws it, zips it, completed down. No, was that incomplete? Logan Sturkey was the intended receiver there. I thought he caught it, but he did not.
I think we're going to see a couple different packages tonight from Coach Pryor and Coach LaPrade in terms of what the DBs and the linebackers are doing. We may see a nickel package here where you see some different players on the field, but let's get situated here and see what we come up.
We're only going with 3 down linemen, one of whom jumps, and that's going to cost us 5 yards as 84.
Sawyer Arnold
was in there a little bit too early. We're going to switch out some of our personnel now. Instead of a 2nd down and 10, the Hosses are looking at a 2nd and 5 at the 9:23 mark. First quarter, no score. Here at CCSD number 4, and I can't wait to find out what was funny there.
Horses.
Wall horses.
You guys, come on.
Uh-oh.
Oh, my goodness. Cameron Austin, the quarterback, fake the handoff. He's still running downfield. Cameron Austin, somebody finally grabbed his shoestrings at the 20-yard line, and now the Horses all of a sudden are inside the red zone after the Oceanside Land Sharks tried for it on first down, were unsuccessful, and Barnwell is on the move.
Johnny Gunn on that saving tackle. He got a piece of Grayson Freeling.
That still Gavin might be Gaspar, actually.
Or was it Gavin?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
This is looking already like we got a ball game here, guys, tonight. Jet sweep, number 1 on the carry. He's going to be close to a first down, but short. That's Jaquan Peoples. And let's see how close he got to it. They're going to say 2nd down and about 2 or 3 to go for the first. 8:50 to go. Barnwell now knocking on the door.
We're not used to getting punched in the mouth like this, are we, guys?
No, I mean, we went 3 and out in the first series. That was just one play right there.
Sharks, of course, as we've said multiple times, are yet to give up a point in the playoffs, and I probably jinxed them by saying that as Barnwell's in the red zone. Handoff to their running back.
Miles.
Oh, my goodness. Miles Robinson, number 11, torpedoed in there for the stop.
The missile.
So that's going to make it 3rd down and 2 or 3 to go. He didn't pick up much, maybe a few inches. And my money says number 9 is going to keep this one. Cameron Austin, their quarterback. The running back is number 4, Nehemiah Brown. And this time he's also got 3 in there with him, Jordan Peoples, as he has running backs to his right and left. And sure enough, number 9 keeps it. I think he had enough for a first down. Sure enough, he's down to the 6-yard line. It's going to be a 1st and goal.
He reminds me a lot of Edward, doesn't he? Through the course of the night, I think you'll start to see flashbacks of when our number 1 was running the ball. He's strong, he's thick, does a good job riding out the fake, and then takes it and goes right up the gut on that QB power. So,
my Barnwell spies say this team lives and dies with number 9, their quarterback. As a flag goes up, that's going to be offensive false start, it looked like. If the preliminary signal from the linesman on the far side of the field holds true. The white hat looking around, trying to figure out. And that's indeed the call, and that's a gift for the Sharks as the Wasses are moved back to about the 12.5-yard line. I'm not sure, coming from the part of South Carolina where Barnwell is, where the Wahosses comes from. But Austin's going to roll out to his left side. Has a man. Oh, he threw it out of bounds. Unable to complete that. I think that was Sturkey, number 2, the intended receiver there. Barnwell did me a big favor tonight wearing these white jerseys and red numbers. They're easy to see. The Sharks, not so much in their gray uniforms and blue numbers. The Sharks are on your right. The Hosses in the white shirts on the left. They're looking now at a 2nd down and goal, but they're all the way out at almost the 13-yard line. Cameron Austin with one running back. It's going to be a keeper for the quarterback, heading towards the end zone. That's a touchdown. The Warhorses strike first as Cameron Austin, the vaunted quarterback, runs 13 yards, pretty much unmolested into the end zone.
Right up Main Street.
That was, I watched Miles came over to play outside linebacker off of that read, and they just ran right where Miles would have been, which is middle linebacker. So that must have been some coaching that happened in the film room this week. I'm sure Coach Pratt will make an adjustment there. But
so the Horses ready to kick an extra point, or actually looks like they're going to go for 2 in a very odd formation. Yep. Austin wanted to throw it in complete, so they tried a little trickeration on us to pick up a 2-point conversion, but they wind up leaving the score 6-0, and the first points given up for the Land Sharks in the playoffs are to the Barnwell Warhorses.
He's pretty impressive with his legs. His arm, he's been a little inaccurate so far. Let's see how that goes for the rest of the night. But he looks like a pretty determined runner, though. He's running with a purpose.
I understand Austin likes to throw the slant. That is his bread and butter play when he throws it. Thus far, though, I don't think we've seen one of those passes in this game. Lots of different guys on offense, Swish, have had an opportunity here to run it or catch it.
They're a young team, too. I mean, these guys are here this year. They're coming back next year as well, too. All their skill players are juniors or below. Pretty impressive.
So we got Grayson Freeling back here deep on the near side. On the opposite side, I can't tell who that is.
Will Virgilio.
That's Virgilio, thank you. And this one's going to go over the head of both of those fellas and into the end zone. And the Sharks are going to be looking at 80 yards between them and 6 points as they take it over again on offense. The first drive for Oceanside, ending on an unsuccessful 4th down attempt. And the Warhorses made them pay. Looks like we're coming right out with 4 wideouts.
Going empty.
And Monavian is the quarterback, number 10. He's a freshman. We put Logan Hamilton in motion. He comes into the running back spot. Now we're stuck with just 4 wideouts. As Aiden drops back, he wants to throw it. He zips it. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Second time tonight we've had an incomplete toss to our always reliable Gavin Gaspar, number 8.
He had some leg room after that, too.
Yeah, you know, Gavin has been a huge part of our offense, especially late in the season in the playoffs. That one, though, he should have had as Aiden gets ready again, likely to throw it as he puts his back in motion. Throws it over to his right side.
There you go.
There
you go, Will.
Will Virgilio across the 40 to 50. He's still running. Yes, show them Warhorses. We know how to run some offense too. As Will Virgilio is deep into the Barnwell territory. We're going to have it 1st and 10 at their 41.
Say it a lot this year. Just got to get the ball to him in space.
Yeah.
Will Virgilio, no kidding, he's a great athlete, and as we noted earlier, plays multiple positions.
Reminds me of Jace Krafchek last year. If you get the ball in his hands, it's something's happening.
Somehow we were on the wrong line of scrimmage, but we got straightened out. And again, Monavian throws it to Trey Brown this time. Number 4, the tight end, has it all the way to the 35-yard line. We're looking at now a 2nd and 3, and all of a sudden, the Oceanside Land Sharks are moving the ball.
Well, we're dinking and dunking, little crossers, little routes. I like it, and we're going fast and not allowing Barnwell to get their D set up, really.
No huddle. Monavian hands it off to his running back. That's probably Strickler. I couldn't tell, but he didn't get anything. That defensive line for the Warhorses, which I understand can be suspect, certainly closed in there with some help from their linebackers to stop us for no gain.
Ball squeaked out after it hit the ground, so Barnwell thought they had a turnover, but runner was down. Contact.
Want to give a shout out. Sorry about that.
No, go ahead.
Carson Lee. He's in the ER right now. Lost 15 pounds in 4 days.
Yeah, he's got a bad flu bug.
Sort of flu.
3rd down and 4. Quick pass.
Oh,
it could have been a 1st down, and it's another incompletion that should have been caught. At Virgilio, I think, the intended receiver there.
The ball was tipped, though. The ball was tipped.
Well, he looked open. I couldn't see whether it hit him. I thought it did, but maybe not. At any rate, the horses are going to now face, almost in the exact same position on the field, an opportunity to stop the Sharks on a 4th down. 4th and 4. This time it looks like Will Virgilio is in at quarterback. He's going to run it, and Will has that 1st down to the 26-yard line.
That's a Mex 1 banging 1st down, by the way.
Yeah, I think we owe Mex 1 a couple of those.
I'm slipping here, guys. Sorry about that.
Always takes us a minute. Mark was much stricter than you about that last week.
There it is. That's 1.
That's number 1. There are many more to come.
Knock the rust off there, Neon.
And
this rain better stop.
Yeah, the mist. It's a misty rain. Continues to fall, as you can probably see on your screen. We've got a pistol formation now as Aiden Manavin throws it to the receiver on the right side. He's got lots of room. 10, 5. Oh my goodness! Not quite enough. Where are they going to mark that receiver down? I couldn't tell who that was.
The 2-yard line. That was Virgilio.
That's Will Virgilio, number 7, and thanks, Swish. We got him down, it looks like, at the 3, but it's a 1st and goal for the Oceanside Land Sharks, looking to even the score up at 6.
Heavy package coming in with Miles and Maxey.
This is a situation where throughout the season you would have seen Edward Rodenbach, number 1, running it in from the quarterback spot. Let's see what we look at to do here.
Gilchrist in the backfield with Trey Brown, it looks like.
And who's under center at quarterback?
Manavian.
All right, Aiden's still in there, but the whistles blow before we can get the playoff. And
running a wishbone there, guys.
Delay.
We took a little too much time, I guess. Didn't feel like a lot of time. We're doing a lot of personnel moving in and out of that field. And it's really been interesting to see the offensive adjustments that we have made here without our starting quarterback and running back from the regular season. We're putting a lot of people in and out of the field, and it looks like Manavian's still in at quarterback. He's going to give it to the back. It's in the end zone. Touchdown, Land Sharks. That's a Mex 1 touchdown for Cale Gilchrist.
Touchdown!
Attaboy, Cale.
Man, the rain is just blowing in our faces.
Yeah, this is no good.
Up here, we've got a lot of equipment that may be getting wet. I don't know what to do about that.
Not like the PE game quite yet, but
you could probably put something over some
that
of
wouldn't
this.
require me like getting in my T-shirt.
Oh, blocked. Daggone it.
Extra point blocked, and the Warhorses want to run it back, but the refs say nah. It's going to be tied up at 6 apiece as both the Warhorses and the Sharks are able to score here in the first quarter.
Radar doesn't show any rain.
We don't know where this rain is coming from, but it's really coming down right now. We have to think it's going to be short-lived if it's not showing up on the radar. You can use my jacket over there, yeah. We're having to make all kinds of technical adjustments, like putting a jacket over our mixer. And Quinn Mahoney out ready now to kick this one off for the Sharks. We kicked it off to start the game. Barnwell was unable to do much with it. They had to punt it. Then we took it on our first drive, unable to convert on a 4th down. They took it over, and the Horses drove it 60 yards for their first touchdown. We just drove it 80 for ours.
What happened there?
That kickoff didn't happen. It's a kickoff interruptus.
That's pretty good there, big dog.
This time, Mahoney puts it up and over the head of everybody in red pants, white hats, and white jerseys.
Big kick, I like that.
The Horses going to be looking at taking it 80 now. No kidding. We haven't seen a lot of those. We got kind of spoiled over the years with some kickers who could always put it out of the end zone. This year, not so much. It hasn't been bad. It's just we don't put a whole lot of them out there for the touchbacks.
Look at this formation, guys. They got their lineman. This is old Patriots line up here.
As Cameron Austin rolls out to his right side from that weird configuration.
That didn't work so well.
Did not work as planned. As several gray uniforms converged on the Barnwell quarterback.
That's a loss of 6.
I don't know if you saw that. Their lineman was split out. 2 of their linemen were split out. Did not go out for a pass, but they were split out.
Sawyer Arnold was in there with a couple of other guys. I'm trying to see who is that. Is that Trey Brown? Who's the right defensive end out there?
That's Maxey.
All right, Maxie Mormon, that number 9. Okay, looked like a number 4 to me. As Barnwell's got a 2nd and 15 quarterback keeper. We're ready for that one, though. Introduce yourself.
Mr. Benjamin Britton.
You might want to salute that man. He's going to be playing for Army next season. And he probably felt a little bit like a tank there to Cameron Austin, who's had a very nifty game so far. For the Hosses, he just threw some piece of equipment 20 yards across the field. He didn't like that. I don't know what it was. Maybe a towel, probably that, because the ball's got to be wet. And now we're looking at a 3rd down and about 17 or so for the Hosses. Cameron drops back.
Nice.
Oh, he is sacked. He looked like he might want to fake
Mike
a
Jones.
throw. It looked like it might be a quarterback draw, but Mike Jones had nothing to do with that, and we had 2 guys in there.
Sawyer Arnold with him. Man,
he had no time.
One of the weaknesses for these Hosses is the bulk and strength and youth on their lines. And that time their offensive line, in fact, every play on this drive, their offensive line has been unsuccessful in containing the rush and blitz.
let's watch this snap. It's deep in the end zone.
Barnwell trying to get this punt off. Their first one was an adventure. This one
total
also
shank.
not so good. Bounces at the 30-yard line, and that's where
Here we go.
the Sharks are going to have it. 1st and 10 deep in Barnwell territory.
Coach Salazzo cranked up that D-line that drive. Let's get into some sponsors, guys. Thank you to the platinum sponsors today. That's the Revere Group, Longshore Boats, Fox Audio Video, Sunbelt Rentals of Charleston, Carolina Hormone and Healthcare, of course, Charleston Adventure Forest and Zipline. Thank you.
All right, we got about 13 seconds to go here to get this play off. As the clock showing 2:53 first quarter, 6-6 your score. Aiden Monavian, the quarterback, freshman, throwing it across the middle, complete. That's Will Virgilio inside the 20 to the 15. Will still moving down to the 10-yard line.
CJ.
That's CJ Moscos.
Yep.
He's going to give you an earful about us missing that one again, but
That's
you can
all
put
right.
it all on me as long as you don't give him my cell number or email.
3, 5, 7, it's all the same.
Well, from where we are, with a whole lot of mist in between us and an older guy calling these plays, the Sharks have it handed off to the running back.
Logan Hamilton.
And Logan gets it down inside the 5 to about the 3.
Give it to him again.
They put Logan in that running back spot a lot. Now Cale Gilchrist is coming out as Aiden ready to run this play very quickly. Gives it to Cale. He got it down to the 1, and Gilchrist, who scored our first touchdown, gets close there, but no cigar, as we're now facing a 3rd down and goal. I thought we were closer than where they marked that one.
Can't
It
get
looks
much
like
closer.
The 1-yard line. The linesman on the opposite side of the field. Maybe it's just my angle. At any rate, we've got a wishbone formation. The freshman quarterback gives it to
no.
What happened?
Oh, no.
Oh, my
Fumbled.
gosh, we fumbled it.
Still loose.
I think it was a handoff to Cale Gilchrist, and it bounced off in all this rain, and the Warhorses get the biggest break of the night so far as the Oceanside Land Sharks, who were right about to put it into the end zone, fumble the ball in this misty Friday night weather.
Well, let's see if we can turn this into a sack for a safety here.
On their last drive, the Horses proved incapable of stopping that front 4, 3, or 4, depending on the situation.
I'd like to see us bring a lot of heat right here like we saw that last series, but we got to watch out for the quick throw down the sideline to number 2. Watch this matchup 2-on-2 here. I guarantee he's going to throw the ball to Sturkey.
Cameron Austin is actually going to keep it. He's hit hard. He might have a safety, folks. I don't know if he got out of that end zone. Looks like the refs are going to say he did, but it's only a matter of inches there between us and 2 points. They say no gain, the PA announcer, but hey, they lost a little bit there. Now they're looking at a second down and 10 yards and 3 inches. 1:20 to go. First quarter, 6-6 your score. No, it's not. Yeah, it is.
Oh,
Barnwell gets it out of the end zone, crosses the 5. We sling down that running back around the 7-yard line. So the Hosses make a little bit of room for themselves. Number 4 on the carry there is Nehemiah Brown. He's done most of the toting at quarterback for the Hosses. They're going to go with 2 wideouts here, facing this 3rd down and about 4 yards to go. And again, look for that quarterback, Cameron Austin, to do something with it himself. He's proved to be very dangerous here tonight. He's got one back to his left side. Cameron keeps it. We hit him, push him. That's not going to be enough for a first down. So
nice.
Now Barnwell is going to have to kick it out of their own end zone. And one major weakness we can say for sure tonight has been their punting game. The first one bounced about 5 feet in front of the punter, and somehow he managed to get it off, and it was a decent punt. The second one was just god-awful.
They're going to take a timeout.
It's going to be the end of the quarter.
Yep.
They're going to let this quarter come to an end as the Sharks are facing their stiffest competition by far in the playoffs. At this point last week, we were up 28-0. Tonight, it's 6-6.
We should have punched one in there. Unfortunate on the giveaway, but we were moving the ball at will. A lot of those little quick crossing routes. Dion, do we have any sponsor updates we need to go through?
We got sponsors, guys. We have sponsors. Our gold sponsors, Sandra Patrick with Bradley O'Meara Real Estate, Bumblebee Landscaping. Our silver sponsors, also Rhodes Medical Legal Consulting, Edo Leisure Cars, and let's see, S&R Strength and Recovery, Access Endurance Coaching, Gilchrist Masonry and Pools.
Attaboy. Attaboy.
It's only taken, 12 games.
Waiting for
our
some
defense
stats
came
here.
up big there.
We're hoping Bill Sandvig is somewhere in this stadium with some stats so we can take a look at what happened in the first quarter.
Did they have
we know the only stat that really counts, which is the score, 6-6.
Did they have any completions that quarter?
I was just wondering the same thing.
I don't think they did.
I don't think they did. Their quarterback, he hurt us a lot running the ball, especially one big run on that touchdown drive. And the score, Hampton County is up 14-0 on Andrew Jackson. That ball game taking place in Hampton. And we'll talk some more about that because, of course, we get the winner of that game next week as the Warhorses get their best punt of the night. It bounces at the 35. It's going to be right up to the 39-yard line. But the Sharks are going to have some really good field position after blowing it on their last drive, fumbling the ball on the 1-yard line. I'm having some microphone issues here tonight. Keeps slipping down on me.
This is our third series that starts in their side of the field, I believe. I know it's the second. I'm pretty sure it's the third.
Right out on the 50 and then the 40.
And then so
50, 30, and 40. So yeah, you're right, Dion.
We need to put some points up in these situations. Our defense is putting us in really good positions here.
Dirty, the quarterback, is in there. Mike Strickler is running back. He's got a bunch right and left formation, and he's going to want to throw this one to Trey Brown, but number 8 was in there on defending that. Jeremiah Eady with a nice play. Aiden has done a good job of picking wide receivers on his throws here tonight who were open. That one, not so much. Pretty good coverage by number 8. As now the Sharks have a second down and 10 as we are moving into the second quarter here at CCSD. Number 4, Sean Belcher Field. Aiden's going to go deep. Oh, he's got nothing there. He was He threw that one pretty darn early in hopes that the receiver, Gavin Gaspar, would be there, but Gavin, that one didn't have a chance, was way over his head. Gavin has been targeted now 3 times tonight. No completions. Last week he was all over the field.
He had 3 completions for 3 touchdowns and 100-plus yards. He looked great.
So Aiden and Strickler in there now. Aiden again going to throw it as a man wide open over on the right side. Will Virgilio with a completion on the near side at about the 25. They're going to mark it at the 24-yard line.
And that's a X1.
Banging.
First down.
Swish just has chili in his mind right now.
That's all I can think about.
That's all I can think about. With a 1st and 10 now, Monavian, the freshman, looks like he's going to be doing the bulk of the duties tonight. Hands it off to Mike Strickler. He's hit and spun around after he picked up 1.5 yards or so.
I like Charlie Bean downfield mixing it up a little bit.
And we should talk a little bit about our offensive line. I mentioned earlier we've got the 2 tackles who play both ways. One, the right tackle, Mike Jones, the big sophomore who's only 15 years old, and the senior, 54, Ben Britton, over on the left side. Bean is the center.
Owen Millard and Tucker Smith round out at the guards.
As Aiden gets ready, he's blitzed from the left side of the defense. He completes that one. Gaspar has his first completion of the night, and it's good for a 1st down inside the 10-yard line.
That's a X1.
Dang it.
First down.
There we go.
And it's good to see Gavin get a grab here after 3 unsuccessful attempts to him earlier. Aiden Monavian, the freshman, gives this one off to Mike Strickler, his running back. He's down to the 5-yard line.
I think that was Cale.
Cale is 33, Strickler is 22, and I'm just going to tell you, it's hard to tell the difference from where I'm at.
Yep, that was Cale.
Cale, who had our only touchdown of the evening, is now positioned just to the right of Aiden. Aiden glances over at the coaches. He's got 3 wideouts to the right, 1 to the left. He takes the snap, quickly throws it. Oh, my goodness, the Barnwell defender was right there. Gavin Gaspar with no chance to make that catch.
It hit the Barnwell defender in the back.
Yeah, I think it did, yep. It's a good thing it was turned the other way.
Yes, sir. You're right about that.
They were in cover 0 there, too. So, man press.
3rd down and goal to go for the Sharks. And now we're all the way out at the 8-yard line. As Aiden Monavian, the quarterback, throws it off the hands of the intended receiver, Logan Hamilton, number 5.
Kicking it.
Yeah, it was a little behind.
So the Sharks, as expected, are trying to throw the ball a lot tonight. I'm not sure we planned on this weather. A slippery football, a slippery field. But we're going to try and kick a field goal this time on 4th down with the score tied at 6-6 in a ball game that feels like it might go down all the way to the wire. Nate Sturm, number 2, our kicker, puts this one up, and it's going to be right through there.
Attaboy, Nate.
That's a 27 or 8-yard field goal. Quite makeable, and Nate does the duty.
Left in the second quarter. Your score, Oceanside 9, Barnwell 6.
So now our score is 9-6.
Let's get a shot at Edward over here if you can, Scotty. Can you get all the way over there? Got our coaches in the booth, Edward Reidenbach.
Edward, last week, was recovering from surgery at home on his couch. Tonight, he's sitting up in the booth with the offensive coaches.
Still coaching and helping.
He can to help out this football team. That's great to see.
You got a friend, Christopher McCleary, really likes how you say "wah horses." You guys are awesome. Thank you.
And the Sharks are ready to kick it off now. Quinn Mahoney again
Attaboy.
puts one in the end zone. He must have heard me say we don't do that very often because tonight he's got the magic in that right leg. And again, Barnwell's going to have it on their own 20-yard line, looking at 80 yards to go. And a defense that they've had one good drive on, but not lately.
Got a couple of ex-Land Sharks in attendance tonight. There's Tuck Swisher, Bryce Bennett, Cole Strickler. I saw Jace Kraftchick hobbling up on crutches. What's going on there, Scotty?
Jace had some surgery on his hip here recently.
Yeah, the surgery yesterday.
What are we trying to figure out here? Uh-oh.
All kinds of confusion. The best-looking chain crew in America over there.
Yeah, I think they just got, I don't know if they got admonished.
It's a good thing they're good-looking. As the Hosses now looking at it. 1st and 10 from their 20. It's going to be jet sweep. Oh, my goodness.
Ben.
54 in that backfield.
It's kind of important to block our best D lineman.
Ben's having a night so far.
So
fellas.
far, he really is.
He's having a night.
In this first quarter, Ben Britton has made some really big plays. And the Hosses now looking at a 2nd down and 15. The ball spotted on their own 15-yard line. Cameron Austin, their star quarterback, the centerpiece of their offense, throws it to number 4, the running back. He only picks up a couple of yards. Nehemiah Brown brought down quickly by our defensive backs over there on the left side.
Brings up 3rd and 13.
That's probably C.J. Moskos, number 3. And yeah, indeed, C.J. is at the left corner spot. Nate Sturm playing over here on the right side. We got Maxie Mormon also over here on the right side in coverage now. As the Hosses want to throw it that way, complete to number 2, and quickly he is brought down by number 11, Miles Robinson.
4th down. Miles is having a day. Him and Ben are turned up right now.
And it's going to be a 4th down and 7.5 situation for the Hosses.
Hey, where's our shark music on 3rd and 4th down?
No shark music tonight.
DJ Crispy K is not here, so Wiley's on. I'm going to have to tell her to get us on some shark music.
Wiley, who makes no mistakes.
She's got the nicest smile in Charleston.
Our assistant AD is the Barnwell punter. Kicks it to the fair catching Gavin Gaspar. And the Sharks will start now in their own territory at the 48-yard line. Pretty darn good field position. And the momentum you can feel shifting here a little bit in this ball game. These two ball teams faced off to a 6-6 tie at the end of the first quarter. The Sharks put up a field goal to make it 9-6 in the second. And now on their first possession of this second quarter, the Sharks are ready to see if they can move it with a different quarterback in now. Number 7, Will Virgilio. Aiden Manavian going most of the way. Will with 4 wideouts as Logan Hamilton goes into motion. Handoff to the running back, I think Mike Strickler, and he didn't get much.
No gain on the play, 2nd and 10.
So now we're looking at a 2nd down and 10 situation. Will comes out. We put Manavian back in. Gavin Gaspar, who was not in there, now comes in at the wide receiver spot. He's our top receiver. Virgilio also in there on the same side. That would be the right-hand side of the field. We've also got probably C.J. Moskos over on the left as Manavian puts Virgilio in motion. He'll join. No, he comes back the other way. It's a throw to Will, a little misdirection route. He gets it complete, picked up 7 or 8 yards on that carry, on that catch rather, as we hit the 7-minute mark, second quarter.
8 on the play brings up 3rd and 2 at the 44.
3rd down, 2.5 to go for the Sharks. We're going to go back to Will Virgilio at the quarterback spot. Will typically, no, it's not Will, he's at the running back spot. Aiden back at quarterback, probably going to hand it to Will. Trey Brown goes in motion left to right, and it's a handoff sure enough to Will Virgilio. 35, 30, 25, 20. Virgilio 15,
Nice.
10, 5. Will Virgilio in the end zone scores another next one. Touchdown for the Land Sharks.
Willio Virgilio.
What a nice run, Mr. Swisher.
Grandpa George down in Vero Beach and his old cronies are partying it up now.
Have another one, fellas. What's all that feedback?
Hello.
I don't know what just happened, but it's all Scott Krafchick's fault. Crafty on camera tonight. As always, we're grateful for his services. Nate Stern puts in the extra point, and the Land Sharks now lead this ball game by a score of 16 to 6. I'm pretty much got to hold my microphone because it just keeps flopping down every time I take my hand off of it. I don't know if anybody's got a screwdriver or something. Knows how to fix it. That's better.
Hey, let's mute you for a second. Let me look at it. Take them off for a second.
6:28 in the second quarter. Sharks up 16 to 6 as we line up to get another kickoff here.
It's not surprisingly that looks like it was operator error with that microphone. And thanks to Dion Welch, who's back with us after a 2-game hiatus. This is his first opportunity to see the playoffs.
Yeah.
And the last two were shutouts, and this one's not. I don't know. There could be a connection. As Quinn Mahoney, for the third straight time, puts a kickoff into the end zone.
Three.
Yeah, that's 3.
We're going to go.
What's the over-under on the roast today, guys?
It's probably at least 13.
Jeez.
At least 13. We'll crank it up after we get the chili at halftime.
Dion, who's been off on lacrosse games
And soccer.
is wondering why these guys aren't running around with tennis racket-type objects in their hands. And Cameron Austin, the quarterback, the centerpiece again of their offense, has 4 wideouts. He rolls out to the right side. He's been pressured a lot tonight. He has to throw that one out of bounds. Who was that on him there?
Sawyer Arnold.
Sawyer Arnold, number 84.
He was even held a little bit there. I could have flagged that, but we haven't had any flags tonight, have we? No. Speaking of.
No flags.
Been pretty,
Wow, that's a pretty amazing stat.
Pretty
there.
clean.
And I don't think Barnwell's had a completion tonight.
Well, they had an offsides. Yeah, you're right. And then we had a delay of game. So
yeah, we did.
There was 2. But hasn't been like I was used to last week.
It seems like 0 when last week was somewhere around 100. Austin all alone in the backfield. Rolls out to the right side again. We pressured him and brought him down. And Cameron Austin has not seen a defense this fast, this big, this strong this season.
The missile.
He is just eating today, guys. He is in on almost every play.
Miles Robinson, just look at him shaking his head there. He's like a shark feeding on a bunch of minnows.
Could be the best linebacker in the state, I think. The way he reads that linebacker is...
He's not getting a lot of love and looks, I can tell you that, unfortunately.
And the Hosses are paying the price here with a 3rd down and 15 to go. Cameron has a running back with him in the backfield, but he wants to throw downfield.
Oh, he just destroyed the quarterback.
It's over the head of his intended receiver, who was well covered in any event, and Cameron Austin paid the price.
Miles just laid him out.
Now 4th and 15 for the Hosses. You can feel
Coach Brent LaPrade with a high five or smack of the hand. I could hear it from up here. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard it.
Man, Miles is fired up.
Yeah. This defense is turned up right now. It's awesome to watch.
23, the punter for Barnwell, has been entertaining to watch tonight. Lane Evans. We'll see if he's able to get this one off as he stands at his own 3-yard line. He's punted 3 or 4 times already. The last one was pretty good, but the referees are going to call
timeout.
Blow the whistle for a timeout in favor of Barnwell here.
Yeah, the shot clock, the play clock.
Okay, who's on the wrong sport?
Yeah, I was watching the Hoosiers the other night. They didn't look so great. They squeaked one out against Wright State, but yeah, play clock got down. They don't want to back themselves up any more than they already are here.
Speaking of Hoosiers, it was great to see old Tuck Swisher as I walked up the stairs to this booth tonight.
Pulled up at the airport and he came out. I haven't seen that kid smile like that in a long time. I'm super happy to have him back into town.
He seemed like he's pretty happy to be home, too, for a long Thanksgiving break.
He looked too daggone skinny, though.
You know, it's funny you say that because I was thinking he hadn't been hitting the weight room much.
Well, he played here. He played at 190 football and rugby. Then he's all the way down to 160. And there's a shot of the handsome Jace Kraftchick kid right there. And Tez Spahn. And Tuck. There they are. Hey, fellas, good to see you here.
We love it when the alumni come home to pull on their brothers, their little brothers, in the playoffs. As Barnwell now gets ready to punt it, number 23 again is Lane Evans. And let's see what kind of adventure we may have in store here. This one's a nice punt. He's gotten better as the course of the night has proceeded.
Man, Grayson got right through those two upbacks and almost had a block. I can't believe that he didn't block that.
That's Gavin Gaspar who fair caught it at the 45-yard line. The Sharks beginning again in Wahall's territory. We've had really good field position here so far in the second quarter. Sharks leading this game by a score of 16-6. And second quarter score from Hampton. Hampton is leading by a score of 17-0. My Big Dog buddies are there covering that game. They're carrying it literally on the Big Dog radio station in Allendale. They can't be in two places at the same time, so they've left Barnwell to us as Aiden Manavian throws deep, has Gavin Gaspar. What a great catch. Did he hold on to it?
Yes. Look at this replay.
Oh,
here,
my
guys.
goodness. We need a replay on that one. Gavin, watch him grab that thing with his beautiful two hands in black gloves that must have stick 'em all over him in order for him to hold on to that thing. And now, Aiden knew he was going to throw that deep over the middle as soon as he had that ball snapped. They were ready to go with that one.
Yep, that was a good ball.
Maybe Edward Rodenbach saw something and conveyed it down to the coaching staff. Edward up here in the booth as Trey Brown is in at the running back spot, takes the handoff. Trey inside the 5, down to the 2. The ball is loose, but he had to be down, and yes, the referees agree with my astute judgment.
And if they don't agree, then we'll get into a debate, and you will win because you are a champion debater.
That is true. Barnwell also has had a pretty good debate team over the years, coached by Brenda Manuel back in the day.
There you go.
And now it's a touchdown. That's Will Virgilio, number 7, into the end zone with another. Next one, banging.
Touchdown!
Just think if we hadn't fumbled that 1-2, it'd be, and we're just
30.
putting it together.
Yeah, when you're facing a team like Barnwell with a great tradition, but they've got a lot of youth on their team, you view this as an opportunity to knock them off. And the Sharks, unsuccessful on that PAT attempt. It was a bad snap in the rain. Tanner unable to get it there for Nate Sturm through no fault of his own. And the score is now going to be 22-6 in favor of the Land Sharks. We thank you for joining us here at CCSD 4 LaPrade Field. We're going to give it a different name every time.
We talked to old Coach Steve LaPrade here before the game. It was good to introduce him to you.
It was nice chatting with him. Very affable fellow. Says that he misses coaching a little bit, but not those 15-hour Sundays. And he's playing a lot of golf. His son, of course, is our co-defensive coordinator.
That is correct.
He's also been an offensive coordinator in his career, as this time Quinn Mahoney does not put it in the end zone. It's retrieved by number 1 at the 5-yard line. He escapes the tackle, shows some real good running ability all the way up to the 36-yard line as Jaquan Peoples gives the Warhorses some decent field position.
Yeah, he hit a line drive there instead of up in the air. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but I'd like it when he kicks it into the end zone.
Thank you.
I love the comment that the big dog could be in 2 places if they converted to HD radio. Man, I used to work at that radio station when I was about 15 years old, and I was in a mobile home in a cornfield. They've come a long way. Now they're FM and AM, and they do a great job down there as Cameron Austin, their quarterback,
Any
for the
guesses
Hawks,
who's
is
on that tackle?
unable to penetrate our defense there, so now it's 2nd down and 10.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
And Miles closed on that pretty quickly. Ben had a hold of him as well, too. Those are 2 land sharks that I would not want to get tackled by.
Speaking of the big dog, Rick Gooding down there for the big dog is giving me an update on Hampton County, which I'll share in a moment. As a pass out to number 1, the same guy. Oh, my
Miles
goodness.
again.
Miles Robinson. My goodness. He's playing out of his mind here tonight as he drilled Jaquan Peoples, the receiver, on that play. The Hosses now have a 3rd down at about 3 yards to go. They really need to pick up a 1st down, try and shift the momentum in this ball game, which currently is a tidal wave in favor of the Land Sharks.
It was a nicely designed play they just executed there.
So Cameron Austin all alone in the backfield, probably going to keep it. He does. Wants to run to the right side. Ben Britton has another idea, and that is to tackle him for a loss of about 5. So now the Sharks are facing 4th down and 6 yards to go, and they are struggling here in the 2nd quarter as the Sharks get their feet underneath them in this ball game. Over in Hampton, it's a 17-0 score. Andrew Jackson has fumbled it 3 times. And the Hurricanes of Hampton County had a 94-yard pickoff. And I will tell you a little bit more about their mascot, the Hurricanes, as it looks like increasingly probable the Hampton County Hurricanes will be coming to Charleston next week. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, of course.
Another score update. Gray 7, Strum Thurmond 7. Abbeville 9, Silver Bluff 0. Those are the 4 games that's going on here in Class AA.
Abbeville, of course, defeated the Sharks last year in the finals.
I want to see what this Somerville's up to. Let's take a look there.
Let me talk about some sponsors while you're doing that. Thank you to our platinum sponsors. That's the Revere Group, Longshore Boats, Fox Audio Visual, Sunbelt Rentals of Charleston, Carolina Hormone and Healthcare, and Charleston Adventure Forest and Zipline.
Thank you, sponsors. Somerville up 28-14 over Carolina Forest with 4 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter. That's a good ball game up in Myrtle Beach tonight.
And it's another punting opportunity for Lane Evans, 23. Gavin Gaspar, deep, high snap. Lane grabs it, boots a nice one. He's improved over the course of the game dramatically, and this one's going to roll all the way to the 24-yard line, and the Sharks got a fairly long way to go relative to our prior field position on our last few drives.
Well, I know that we work on 2-minute drives and a hurry-up offense, so let's see if we can execute this here. You got 2 minutes, 10 seconds, and all 3 timeouts to go. That's a good spot to be for the Sharks.
And one last thing, guys. We got some exclusive tailgate sponsors. Kingswood Custom Homes, Ben Franklin Plumbing, and we also have our Feed the Sharks this week, which is the Black and Blue Booster Club. And that was supported by all the sponsors.
Aiden Manavian, the freshman, back out at quarterback. Trey Brown was on the left side. He moves over to the right where Gavin Gaspar and Logan Hamilton are as well. CJ Moscos up at the top of your screen. And Aiden wants to throw it to CJ. Can he grab it? No, it was just a little bit too high off the tops of his fingertips. And I hope he'll appreciate that I got his name right on the pass he didn't catch. It's only the ones that he does catch that I miss. That's a lesson in life. As we're going again with 4 wideouts, this time evenly split. Avon facing a second down and 10. 2 minutes to go in the half. Oh, my goodness. Mike Strickler, the intended receiver, was not looking back. He was headed downfield, and there was definitely a mix-up on that one.
That was close to being a not good play there.
Could have been a pick six very easily. Thankfully for the Sharks, no. And 3rd down and 10 to go. As Aiden has 3 wideouts over to his left side, definitely going to throw the ball. 3-man rush. Well, Virgilio has it. Virgilio has a first down up to the 40, the 45, and he's upended right when he gets to the 45-yard line.
I like
by
those.
number 10 of the Warhorses. That's DeMonje DeVoe.
That's like next one.
Banging.
First down.
I like those 5-yard passes that go for 25. Those are happy.
Yeah.
Well, if you find Will Virgilio in space, that's a good possibility because he's got the speed and athleticism and versatility to make those big plays. 1st and 10 now. Aiden throws it to Will. Not a great pass. It was a little off target as Aiden was rushed in the backfield. 2nd down now, 10 to go, 1:45. Sharks hoping to add to their 22-6 lead here as they're facing off against the perennial powers from Barnwell, South Carolina, the Warhorses. Last time we played them, they had a linebacker named Watson who wreaked havoc on us. This time, not so much, as Aiden keeps us when he does not run much. But this time, Aiden Manabian, the freshman quarterback, picks up a couple. So now that puts us in an interesting dilemma. 3rd down and 7.5 to go. We're going for it. No time at all spent thinking about that at the 1:20 mark. 2nd quarter. Aiden likely again to throw this one. Drops back, has time, has a receiver, off target. That was intended for
Virgilio. Nope.
Nope.
CJ
Moscos. I mean, CJ needs a new number. Okay, can we all agree on that?
Yeah. Yep.
3 looks too much like an 8 and a 7. At any rate, scoring update for you. Our former coach and dear friend Chad Greer is trailing right now in the state championship Skeeza game in the North Carolina Football League by a score of 14-10 against something Gap. Rabun Gap. And now we're in a punting situation, a high punt for Quinn
goodness.
Mahoney, but man, he rises to the occasion. He puts it in the end zone.
Wow.
And that was a big old 60.
That was a missile.
60-yard punt or so.
He did a good job of getting a high snap and bringing it down.
Our regular punter, Edward Reinbach, is up here with us, sort of, in the coaching booth. And Quinn Mahoney has shown his athleticism and versatility as both a punter and a kickoff artist, and he can also play wide receiver and quarterback.
Watch the deep ball here, fellas.
The Hoss has got just over a minute to go as Austin, the quarterback, keeps it after faking it to his running back. We bring him down. He picked up 5 or so. Clock still moving. The Hoss is going to play it safe here, I suspect. They're all looking over to the sidelines.
Might be a little gamesmanship on both coaching staffs on both sidelines, trying to figure out what each other's doing here.
The play clock is at 10. The clock is at about 25. So it's a 15-second differential. And Austin, again, keeps it, tries the right side, falls forward, picks up a first down, but the clock keeps going. Now they stop it at the 12-second mark with a first down for the Hosses. They're right at the 30-yard line. This game in the first quarter was tied up 6-6. And then in the second quarter, the Sharks began to assert dominance, and now the powerful Warhorses are leaving the field content to see the score 22-6 after one half of play. And we're hoping we'll have some stats for you as I'm looking at Jason Ashley and his wife Lisa down in the stands.
4 seconds left.
Why can't they run it off? Should be able to run it, right?
They get the first down.
Yeah, but as soon as the ball's down, the clock should run. And
I'm going to let Dion and Scott debate this one.
Let's take our headsets off and eat some chili. How about that?
Well, we got 4 seconds to go. I guess we got to make sure something weird doesn't happen. And I don't know either, guys. I don't know why they stopped the clock.
I've got stats from our buddy Bill Sandvig to go over here. I think that guy had his pads off. He was coming in so late. Shouldn't that be a delay game?
I keep trying to think what that could have been. Why the clock would not have run out absent a timeout there.
Come on, now they do it.
good grief.
All right, halftime stats. I'm gonna give us Oceanside first. 11 first downs, had 16 rushes for 91 yards. We're 9 of 20 passing for 185 yards. 2 penalties for 10 yards. 1 field goal made. 1 fumble lost. Okay, for the Barnwell Warhorses. 4 first downs, 19 rushes for 55 yards. They're 3 of 9 in passing for 15 yards. Penalties 1 for 5. And that's about it, man. So time of possession, they've had the ball 13 minutes and 45 seconds. We've had it 15 minutes and 45 seconds. So fairly couple minutes more. But
the first half really a game of 2 quarters. The first quarter was pretty darn even, and then we really thought we were going to have our hands full here with the Sharks tonight. And by the way, at Hampton, they just hit halftime as well, and the score there is 17-0.
Gotcha. Well, other than the fumble, we've executed pretty well, I think, on both sides of the ball. Maybe that little misty drizzle kind of wreaked a little bit of havoc on us in the, a little bit throughout the first half. But other than that, after that first, when they scored and punched us right in the face, I think it woke us up a little bit. So,
well, we're going to take a little break here and let you all go grab a libation and eat your own chili, as I'm going to have some of this great peanut butter Indiana stuff, and we'll be back with the third quarter shortly. And we're getting ready for a second half of football here at CCSD for the team with the field with no name, as the Oceanside Land Sharks in round 3 of the playoffs are trying to advance against the Barnwell Warhorses, visiting here for the first time in the history of these two schools. And right now the Sharks are leading this one by a score of 22-6. First quarter, it was 6-6 tied at the end. But in the second quarter, the Land Sharks began to assert dominance and swish. What can we look for here as we move into the second quarter of this, second half, rather, of this game?
Yeah, a lot more of what we saw on the defensive side. Again, held them to 15 yards passing and 55 yards rushing. So well under 100 yards. If we can maintain that defensive pressure, I think we're going to be in good shape.
I was looking. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So offensively, I'm not sure what we'll see. We'll see if there's any more quarterback rotations. But we've used a lot of different players that have touched the ball and advanced the ball downfield for us. So it's been a good night so far.
And number 23, the kicker for the Hosses, hits Grayson Freeling, number 0 at the 5-yard line, and Grayson does a flip at the 30, and that's where he is stopped dead in his tracks.
It's a good little highlight reel there. One of Big Bro Monroe Freeling is watching in from the University of Georgia tonight.
The Dogs doing pretty well this season.
I think they got the Vols tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken.
That would be a big game.
Young Swish in at quarterback now.
All right, for the first time tonight, Tanner, number 13, as soon as he squats down, he has that unique posture before the snap. He throws it nicely to number 7, Will Virgilio, and Will jumps over a couple of guys, crosses midfield before he crashes down at the 47-yard line of the Hosses.
He was one step away from going the distance there.
I like that play call, too, coming right out of halftime.
That's a Mex 1 banging first down.
That's right.
And Swish dances off the field now. It looks like Virgilio is going to be back in at quarterback. He's got Logan Hamilton in at the running back position. 2 wideouts right, 1 to the left. And Will is going to keep it after bumping into his running back. He gets it down to the 41-yard line, picks up about 6 yards on that carry.
C.J. Moscos and number 29 having a nice little conversation right there.
Land Sharks moving a little bit slower here than they did in the first half. Trey Brown is in at the tight end spot over there on the right side. C.J. Moscos closest to your screen, as Will Virgilio is going to keep this one. Dodge a couple of guys, show his nifty running skills, take it inside the 35 down to the 32, and another Mex 1.
Banging.
First down.
They got some good food at Mex 1.
Not as good as that chili we just had, guys.
That's what I was leading into, brother.
Peanut butter sandwich and sour cream and Fritos. And
Indiana chili, as Tanner Swisher's back in now at quarterback. He's rushed a little bit, dodges him. Tanner's going to keep this one, crosses the 30. He's down to the 28-yard line. That's going to be a nice pickup of about 5. Didn't like what he saw downfield. Got a little bit pressure from one of the Warhorses. And nobody wants to get tackled by a Warhorse.
Especially not 44. He looks mean.
44 for Barnwell is Clayton Zizit.
I'm sure he's a nice kid, but he looks like a mean football player. I do like that that red and white, man. It looks good.
And now Tanner stays in. He hadn't played at all in the first half. He hands this one off to number 5, Logan Hamilton.
Go, baby, go.
Look at Logan. He's going to go into the end zone. Logan Hamilton, and he's got one proud mama.
Here, guys.
Megan Hamilton, I'm sure so glad to see that great run from her boy. And the Sharks are going to add to their lead as Tanner Swisher hands it off. And Logan plays a lot in the running back spot. Doesn't actually run it a whole lot, though.
That was a good run. He got on Owen's back, put a hand on him, waited for him to set up the block, and just took off after that. It was a nice run.
Yeah, great blocking there.
And the Sharks making a statement early here in the second half. Your score now 29-6 in favor of the hometown Oceanside Land Sharks.
That might be Logan's first rushing touchdown ever.
I think it probably, well, I know it is as a Land Shark.
Yep.
I say I know with a pretty high level of confidence.
Leeds, let's qualify it as a varsity rushing touchdown. So really happy. And I think he scored it right in front of the merchandise table where Megan was camped out. She probably is having a heart attack right now. So
Megan is handing out T-shirts over there, promising that Logan will put his autograph on those after the game.
I think she's charging a pretty penny for him over there too.
All the money, no doubt, going to the Black and Blue Club, which she is so involved in. And now we're at about 10 and 12 to go, third quarter. Did not take a whole lot of time there for the Land Sharks to march it downfield and put it in the end zone. And now Quinn Mahoney puts it in the end zone as
Quinn.
he kicks it off. And that'll bring the white jersey, red pants, white hat Warhorses out to the 20-yard line.
Let's see if they offensively try to do anything, go to the air. They only went, again, they were 3 of 9 for 15 yards, 19 rushing attempts for 55 yards. Our defense has been suffocating, so let's see if they made any halftime adjustments to try to take advantage of any wrinkles here.
I've said it a couple of times, but in the first quarter, the Hossers looked really strong. And I don't know if there were adjustments or what in the second quarter, but Oceanside began to take control as the quarterback, Austin, completes that one to number 14, Trey Bowman. And Bowman, with his first catch of the night, picks up 7 yards. Now the Horses hoping they can put some more points on the board. They haven't scored since the touchdown in the first quarter, the only touchdown that this Land Shark defense has allowed in the playoffs so far this year. Bad snap. Austin picks it up, but that was a critical mistake because it gave enough time for Maxim Mormon, number 9, to charge in from the right end spot and bring down the quarterback and push the Horses back into a 3rd down and 6 situation with 9.5 to go in the third quarter. This is one tough defense that Oceanside puts out on the field, centered around their defensive line and linebackers. Number 11, Miles Robinson, who is your left linebacker out there right now, closest to the camera, has been all over the field like a missile tonight. Austin, the quarterback, throws it over to number 2. It's completed up to the 35-yard line, and that's going to be a Barnwell first down for Logan Sturkey, one of their vaunted players, one of the guys we thought we needed to keep our eyes on here tonight, and he's had a few big plays. Cameron Austin, their quarterback, a great football player and by all accounts a great student as well. Barnwell, a small town down in the southern half of the state. As Austin completes that pass, the ball came loose. It was not complete, actually. It looked like it might be, but the receiver unable to hold it.
Yeah, that was a great defensive play. As soon as the receiver had it in his hands, we stripped it out. They're starting to pick up. They're doing a lot of quick game here. We're giving them a bit of a cushion on the defensive side. We don't want to let the deep ball go here, but slants, hitches, bubbles. Let's keep an eye out for what they're throwing here.
2nd down and 10 yards to go for Austin. He throws it downfield, wants to go deep. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's intercepted by the Land Sharks. We're gonna have a replay in just a second.
It's coming up right now.
It was tapped, I think, by C.J. Moskos.
There it is. What a
Kyle
great
Baldwin
catch.
got it.
I can't.
You only do it once. So
you have to hit it as soon as the play's over.
Kyle Baldwin, I think, made the catch, but I think C.J. Moskos tipped it.
Great tip ball.
Wow.
Drill right there.
Wow.
Wow, well, we're all yelling at one time there on that incredible interception. That's one of the bigger, more exciting defensive plays this whole season for the Land Sharks.
It's something on defense you practice throughout the year, tip drills, and happens once or twice a year, but right there is a perfect example of it. Good tip drill.
Sharks now have it on their own 33-yard line. It wasn't a terrible pass there. Tanner Swisher back in
Oh,
at
face
quarterback.
mask. Took his helmet off.
Oh, my goodness. Logan Hamilton, who scored that touchdown on his last carry, almost has his head ripped off there. Did have his hat ripped off.
That was a face mask on 44.
Is that a 15-yarder? That was like a
Should be a
personal
15
foul,
yard.
not
Yeah,
just a
no
face
question.
mask.
That'll be a 15-yard march-off against the Hosses.
Well, when you take the other player's helmet off, that's a good indicator.
Referees, I'm not sure what they need to confer about, but they are caucusing at midfield.
They are caucusing. You are correct.
When I was messing around with the synonyms for caucus last week, I said confabulate, which I just threw that out there. I actually had to go look
Does
it up.
that work?
Confabulate is a delusion.
Oh.
It's not a caucus.
Well, maybe sometimes they can be delusional.
And I'm going to save confabulation for a time when it's more appropriate with the referees.
Okay.
And I don't know why they're taking so long here, but finally they're going to march it off 15 yards. And that should put the Sharks right up around midfield. Yeah, they're going to stop at the 48-yard line. 8:16 to go, third quarter. 29-6 your score. Oceanside pulling away here against the Warhorses from Barnwell, South Carolina. Town named after a Revolutionary War hero. Tanner Swisher in at quarterback. He's dancing around, and this time number 44, the guy who was convicted of face masking on the last play, this time sacks our quarterback. And he's been in a lot of plays tonight, Clayton Zizit. And we're faced now with a second down and about 17 to go for a first. Tanner still in with Logan in the backfield. Trey Brown is your H-back here. We're going with two wideouts. Trey goes in motion. Tanner looks that way, then wants to keep it on a quarterback run. Flag comes in holding territory. Let's see what that's going to be. Tanner loses a couple on that run.
Look at the graphic we got up there.
Holding on the offense.
I don't understand why we don't have graphics like that on our video.
I mean,
Dion.
anything's possible.
Mark had those
next
last
year.
week. Mark had all kinds of graphics.
That's number 4.
I don't know. That's
I like that guy.
Better than
He
Dion?
just texted me. He's like,
Say Rocos, the tail doesn't wag the dog yet.
So now Tanner's got a real challenge, looking at a third down and more than 15 to go.
Here comes the blitz.
Logan's still in at running back. Yeah, they're coming after him, and this one's batted down at the line of scrimmage. He wanted to throw it to his running back, swinging out around the right side.
He was covered, though. I wasn't going to go for much, I don't think, but
I think number 15, Henry Creech, one of the Creech brothers, was in on that slap down, and now the Sharks are going to be in a punting situation as Quentin Mahoney is standing at our 25-yard line. One man deep for the Horses is number 1, and he's proved himself to be dangerous here already tonight. Jaquan Peoples, one of the Peoples brothers, as the ball hits at the 35, bounces out of bounds at about the 31, and that's where the Horses are going to take it over.
Peoples, huh? Do you know who the Peoples champion is?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's a wrestling. Come on.
Oh,
You're a big wrestling guy.
Well, you need to talk to Chad Greer if you want to talk wrestling. Speaking of
It's John Cena. I went to college with him.
You went to college with a professional wrestler?
John Cena, yeah.
Where'd you go to college?
A little school up in Springfield, Massachusetts called Springfield College.
Wrestling University. Oh, Providence Day now down 21-10 against the only team that beat them this year as Barnwell tries a jet sweep, but with not much success. Rabun Gap came in, and both teams are nationally ranked. They're playing for the private school state championship in North Carolina right now, and our former coach Chad Greer up there. We're sending him good vibes, but right now it's not looking so good for the Chargers. But I know he'll be happy to know his beloved Land Sharks are winning here 29-6 over Barnwell. Quick pass to the wide receiver on the left side on a 2nd down and 8. He picked up about 6. That's going to leave him with now a 3rd down and 2 or 3 situation. And most likely you're going to see number 9 running the ball. Cameron Austin, their quarterback, in critical situations tends to keep it.
There's our shark music.
Cameron just a junior, and this Barnwell team, as we've said, is young. And Cameron, sure enough, fakes the handoff, keeps it. He's going to be close, and yeah, he's going to have enough for a 1st down.
What was the stats in the first half for Miles? Do you have tackles on him or no?
No, they don't. We don't pay Bill enough to do tackles. He only does mostly.
You should see what he charges if he's going to do the defense.
It's astronomical.
1st and 10 now for the Hosses at their own 43, 5.5 to go. 3rd quarter, Land Sharks winning 29-6. Cameron hands this one off to the back, and I didn't even need to look at the number
You can hit a replay on that one.
to know who that was.
He just threw a flag.
Miles Robinson comes charging in there. Let's see what that flag is. Did he have his helmet down too much?
No, I think it's against them.
I don't see a flag.
Too hard a hitting?
Here on the 31.
Oh, there
No,
we
I
go.
think somebody might have said something after the hit, is what it looked like. I don't think the running back was real excited about it. It might have come from him, but they're going to march it off the other direction here.
So it's a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct call against the Hosses. That'll cost them 15 yards, and whereas they were looking at a 1st and 10 after their quarterback moved the chains, now they've got a 1st and 25 to go on their own 30-yard line, and I imagine our defense is going to just be teeing off here on every snap because Cameron's going to have to throw it. He does, completes it up to the 35.
Gavin Gaspar.
Number 2 on the reception is Logan Sturkey, the guy we expected to hear from a lot tonight.
Hampton County 23-0.
Hampton County, a school that's in its 1st year of existence this year. And I'll explain that more in a second as Barnwell's got a 3rd down and, I don't know, almost 20. Cameron Austin completes it. The receiver fighting for the 1st down. And give credit to Jaquan Peoples. He made the catch from after a great throw from their quarterback, Cameron Austin.
Threaded the needle right down the middle. And, credit to Peoples for getting that extra yard after catch and fighting for the 1st down.
So after looking at a 1st and 25, Barnwell shows themselves to be resilient here, picking up a 1st in Sharks territory. Oh, my goodness.
Bringing out the hit stick. See if we got that on replay.
Nate Sturm.
Peoples again on the catch there, and as you can see, number 2 comes in from his cornerback position to slap him down right away. Only a gain of about a yard there. It could have been a lot worse, but for that great play. Barnwell moving quickly here in the 3rd quarter, realizing they got a lot of territory to cover on the scoreboard. 29-6 is your score. And oh my goodness, Cameron is cut in half there. I hope he's okay. Miles Robinson just hit him mid-throw, and Cameron, number 9, the key guy on that Barnwell offense, is slow getting up. We're all hoping he's okay.
I didn't see it. I was watching the throw downfield.
Oh,
Miles
my
just came
goodness.
flying
He was
in.
so vulnerable
Just as he was
with his
throwing
arm up, and he was hit right in his midsection.
Oh, boy.
At a minimum, he had his breath knocked out.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that's all it is.
He doesn't look.
Well, let's talk about some of our sponsors for a minute, shall we?
Yeah,
do you
I
guys
think we need a break there.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you to our platinum sponsors. That's the Revere Group, Longshore Boats, Fox Audio Video, Sunbelt Rentals of Charleston, Carolina Hormone and Healthcare, and Charleston Adventure Forest and Zip Line. We'll also get into some of our gold sponsors here while we have a minute. Thank you to Sandra Patrick with Bradley O'Meara Real Estate, Bumblebee Landscaping, and our silver sponsors, Rhodes Medical Legal Consulting and Edo Leisure Cars.
And thankfully, Cameron is walking off the field kind of funny after that hit. You know, that was tough, but he looks like he might be okay. We'll see when
He's moving pretty slowly.
after a play or two here. They're looking at a 3rd down and 9 now, and the backup quarterback coming in for Barnwell has not been on the field thus far tonight. I'm not sure who it is. Let's
I think it's
see.
number 15, Big Dog.
That would be Henry Creech, one of the Creech brothers. 2 sets of brothers on this team, the Peoples brothers and the Creech brothers. You see that when you have these small town teams. And Henry very adeptly draws the Sharks off sides with his change of cadence.
I think they moved first.
It's like number 1 is the
Yeah,
quarterback.
one's
by
a
the way.
quarterback.
Well, let's change the entire narrative then. Jaquan Peoples, the wide receiver, is the guy in there at quarterback, and we know Jaquan, he's had some great plays as a special teams receiver and a wide receiver here tonight. And it wasn't him drawing off the defense. It was one of his linemen moving early. And he slipped down and falls in the backfield. You figure he hadn't had a whole lot of reps in the practices this week, Swish.
Well, it looked like they were setting up to go a heavy right, and he couldn't get anything going there at all.
That was not what Barnwell needed. Miles Robinson, though, not to. I mean, you worry about number 9 getting hit so hard, but you also have to credit Miles. He has just been a missile, is the only way to put it, all night tonight. He's had some good games this season, but I think this is his best.
I agree.
4th and 15. Barnwell now going to punt it, barely get it off, but it takes a really good Walsh bounce. And we're going to have it on our own 8-yard line.
And Sharks take over 1st and 10.
This has got to be someone you know, Robert. Ask Big Dog how to spell his version of Warhorse.
It is Wawhoss.
Wow.
Walhoss. And anybody from down there knows that. That must be one of those guys from Indiana or something.
Or Maine.
That's number 5.
1st and 10 now for the Sharks. Tanner Swisher back in at quarterback with Logan Hamilton, and Logan weaving his way
nice
through.
block.
Oh, my goodness. Logan Hamilton, who had a beautiful touchdown earlier, comes up across the 15, almost to the 16-yard line. And now we're looking at a 2nd down and less than a yard. Well, now they move it, and
Got
it's
a guy
going to be
down.
about a yard.
Ben made a
Another-
good block right at the end of that play.
Got another player down.
And that's, I think, number 16, could be number 18, but I think 16 for the Hosses. That's Devarion Staley.
Timmy's watching up in Greenville, I believe, right?
North Greenville.
My youngin' handling business.
Timmy Castine, as Chad Greer told me that is to be pronounced. One of the heroes of land shark lore.
16's up and moving. That's good to see.
He's coming off the field assisted now. And Swish, interesting here in the second half, we're going all the way with your boy Swish, number 13, and Logan Hamilton in the back.
Yeah, it's different looks. It's hard to scout the Sharks because we've got so many different packages and combinations, and who knew that Logan could run like that?
And Logan trots off now in favor of Cale Gilchrist, number 33, who's going to be in the running back spot, a little bit behind Tanner. Tanner's got 3 wideouts. Looking at a 2nd down and a couple. A good opportunity here to throw it. He gives it, though, to Cale, and he bulls his way across the 20
Still
for
going.
another Mex 1. 1st down up to the 25-yard line.
Man, he took about 4 players with him for 5 yards. He is tough.
Cale really got down low there.
Yes, he runs high a lot, and talking to his pops, Shane, about that. But He's not really played a lot of running back, or yet has not been trained as such. But, man, if you could get him to run over the pads, he would be a filthy, filthy running back.
So now it's a 1st and 10 for Tanner. He wants to throw this one, looks downfield, over the middle, has his man completed. That's Will Virgilio. Will's got a first. He's across the 45, spins around, crosses the 50, into Warhorse territory.
Man, Will's having a day, too. I'm going to check his stats on the first half real quick, guys.
He had 105 yards receiving in the first half. I looked at that over halftime.
And that's another Mex one.
Bang it!
First down. He also had 6 rushes for 63 yards and 2 tutties. And how many did you say he had?
105 or so.
5 receptions for 107.
A lot of those, we are liking the crossing route today, or drag, whatever you want to call it.
Tanner takes the snap, quick throw. C.J. Moscos has it on the left side. Crosses down into the 34 or so yard line. A flag coming in.
Yeah.
I didn't see what was happening with the flag over here.
16 just bowled Ben over on a personal foul.
Easy Tucker.
And now we've got some more stuff going on over here. So
some extracurriculars here, and man, I would not want to be taking a cheap shot on number 54.
No, who does?
Let's see, though, what the referees conclude as they sort this out.
It's got to be a personal foul on them.
It might be 2.
They are collectively cogitating at the 30-yard line. And the Shark players, led by Ben Britton, are asking their fans to make a little noise. And you hear those cowbells ringing all over this CCSD Tucker Swisher Field. They're taking a long time here on something that seems pretty straightforward. Will Virgilio on a big offensive play there picked up a first down. We were at our own 48 when that play started. I'm just very curious to see what required so much discussion. The Warhorse is always in the playoffs, always challenging for state championships. On the road here in round 3 against the Sharks, who they've only faced once before and who they beat down in Barnwell in 2019. A pre-COVID football game, if my dates are correct.
That's correct.
See what the call is here, big dog.
We're looking at the white hat. He's still.
Personal foul on us.
It's a personal foul on the Sharks and on the Hosses.
Stupidest penalty in the world, offsetting.
It is the definition of pointless.
Yeah, but they have another one.
They have 2, and we have 1.
Okay.
Still 15 yards.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike foul on.
So that'll work in favor, I guess, of the Sharks. They haven't marked it off yet.
Got a score from Somerville. Somerville 35, Carolina Forest 28 in the third quarter.
Ooh.
Tight one up there.
Wow. Carolina Forest giving the green wave all they can handle.
Yeah.
Didn't we beat them?
We did.
We did. Remember that 99-yard drive, and Edward punched it in at the very last second. We went for 2.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now I remember.
Abbeville 9, Silver Bluff 6. Another great game going on there.
How about the
Man,
great?
the Barnwell coaches are not happy with the stripes.
Gray 21, Strum Thurman 10.
Ooh.
And Hampton County's up 23-0 still. Looking like Hampton County, Oceanside next week. Unless something drastic changes by both of us.
So
Their coaching staff is not happy over there.
Little update from Hampton County. They're still shutting out their opposition, 23-0, and Andrew Jackson has a running back. Dobson last week ran for 297 yards. Tonight has been shut out, only picked up 60 so far in that game. So the Hurricane defense coming to life there. And I noted earlier that Hampton County is a new school, and a lot of people who are from that part of the world may be saying, what you talking about? They've been there forever. But they used to be the Red Devils, and there was another high school there called Estill right down the road, which was a single-A school. They were the Gators. Well, the Estill Gators don't exist anymore. And what happens when you merge a Gator with a Red Devil is you get a hurricane.
That makes sense.
And that's who's beating up on Andrew Jackson
There
tonight.
you go,
Cale
Cal.
Gilchrist takes the carry, crosses the 30 to 25, down to the 20-yard line. Cale Gilchrist running all over the horses and has another Mex one.
Banging.
First down.
That's another Mex one. First down.
Sharks are mighty proficient on this drive, led with their second half, quarterback Tanner Swisher. It looks like Trey Brown is back there with him now, and Trey takes the handoff, gets past one guy. Trey's a bull, gets it inside the 15, down to the 13-yard line.
Trey, we I think had a bit of a shoulder injury earlier in the season, and we moved away from him at running back and put him in at H to let him do some blocking and catching. He's got great hands as well too, but good to see him in the backfield. We're just rotating legs right now and fresh legging him. It's good to see.
Johnny Gunn now in at the H-back spot. Hand off to the running back, though. That's Cale Gilchrist. He crosses the 10. That man is still on his feet as he gets down to the 7-yard line for another Mex one.
Banging.
First down. Hey, our line is doing a great job. I think 3 of these guys are playing both ways.
Yeah,
And we are just pushing their D-line back against guys that are playing, just starting defense.
Cale takes the handoff very close to the goal line.
He's going to get in.
I think they stopped him just short.
Give it to him.
Tanner's trying to convince the referees that that's a touchdown, but I'm going to work with him a little bit on his advocacy skills.
That was a gentle, kind touchdown sign there.
His dad's got to teach him how to sell a little bit.
Yeah, and Kale's hurt.
Mine might come with some different language.
Crafty says Cale is
It's the end of the third
Dinged
quarter,
up there.
guys.
Yeah, he's banged up his arm or wrist, one of the two.
And I see that.
He's in a lot of pain.
So the Sharks, as we come to the end of the third quarter, leading this ball game, 29-6, and just about to knock the door down. But the last time we were in this field position, Swish, it didn't turn out so well.
No, but let's remember we started on our own 8-yard line, so we have been grinding the ball downfield and helped out by some penalties as well too. So it looks like we got some third quarter stats coming in. Land Sharks with 20 first downs on the game, 28 rushes for 179 yards. We are 12 of 24 for 246. Let's see the Barnwell, the Wall Hosses. 6 first downs. Can that be right? Yeah, 6 first downs, 24 rushes for 52 yards. They're 7 of 16 for 72 yards. And that's about it.
So Barnwell has 124 yards of offense total. Is that right?
That looks, 52 and 70, 124.
Hey, I had it looked over. I thought that was Robert that said war horses.
I've been listening.
And see,
Wow,
I was going to
hosses.
coach you up a little bit. That was a little too Indiana for my standards. I'm sorry.
Help me out here. What do we?
You got to say it naturally from the diaphragm. Hosses.
Wow, hosses.
Is that
Pretty
what they
good.
teach in elementary school in South Carolina?
A lot better than. I think Dion thought they were the Mustangs.
He said the Mustangs are the Stallions.
Well,
I haven't even heard Dion attempt to say the word. And I'm not sure I want
I want
to.
to hear that Mainese come out of his dialect.
Hosses.
Mark did it perfectly last week when given the chance.
That's number 7.
That's all I'm
I think
saying.
that's 6 and 7.
Back to back.
All right, the Sharks now hoping to punch this one in. Tanner from the shotgun. My goodness, he wants to throw it from the half-yard line. It's incomplete, and I don't know about that call.
Yeah.
That was to CJ.
As we see a little shift here, Miles Robinson coming in along with number 9, Maxie Mormon. We haven't called Maxie's name a whole lot tonight, certainly not in the second half.
This is our wishbone formation here coming up.
Tanner going to stay in at quarterback. Maxie coming back off the field as Will Virgilio trots out. We're just inside 12 minutes to go here. This fourth quarter just getting underway with
Going
the
under
Sharks
center.
trying to get it in there. I guess that was a quarterback sneak.
Yep. Give it to him. Touchdown. There we go.
Touchdown.
And finally, the referee's hands go up.
That's the next one.
Banging.
Touchdown.
So Tanner couldn't talk him into a first down, but he shows him now how it's done as a quarterback sneaker. Huh?
He said, I'll just do it on my own then.
Yeah, there you go.
With the help of 10 other guys and a tush push.
His brother, Tucker, over here in town from the University of Indiana. Proud of his little brother. Though not showing it much. Tucker didn't show a whole lot.
They were pretty happy when they saw each other this morning. So
that's great.
It's Tanner's first rushing touchdown of the year.
As he now prepares to hold the snap for Nate Stern to attempt the extra point, which is up and in. And the Sharks now totally in control, leading by 30 points. 36-6, your score.
And talk about Tuck. There's Tuck. Who do we have? Dylan Baker, Seabuck,
Yep.
Bryce Bennett, Cole Strickler.
I think Tuck might be happier to see those guys than his own family.
It's great to see these guys here, the alumni coming into town.
Robert, let's talk about the high school league's decision this week to enforce a 3 times multiplier for students that attend a school that are out of their district zone. So, for example, Oceanside's district is Wando. And so if a student gets into the lottery and comes to Oceanside outside of that Wando school district zone, they will now count as 3 students as opposed to 1. And so it's meant to help with competitive balance across all the schools. But really, there might be some unintended consequences there with some of the charters and the privates. So,
well, I want to talk about that some more in a second as Quinn Mahoney's kickoff goes into the end zone. So what are the unintended consequences?
Well, think about an academic magnet where your child went to school. It's in North Charleston. A majority of those students don't live in the North Charleston school district area. So under that proposal, that would probably move them. I think you can only move up 2 classifications, but that would go from 2A to 4A.
That would be a travesty.
I don't remember seeing a limit to it, honestly. I don't think there was.
I think it's a 2 classification. Even BE.
Hello.
Hello, Scotty.
Hey, Scotty. How you doing, man?
You put your microphone over that railing, and we just get a ringing in our ear. So
yeah, I'm sorry.
I got to mute you when you.
So BE might be another one. I think Gray Collegiate, they have a disproportionate amount of students, I believe, that come out of the zone into their school. But I can tell you, I heard a quote that Mark Myers said, our athletic director. He said that we've got a lot of bicycles out in front of our school. We've got kids. Deanna, I think your kid takes a bicycle to school, doesn't he, sometimes?
Both of my kids.
Yeah.
Well,
2nd and 9 here. Hang on a second as the quarterback hands it off and nothing.
Pretty sure that was Miles.
9 is back in the game, too.
Oh, my
what the
goodness.
heck? He just fell down. That was
The
weird.
flag went up, but Miles
pushed in
went
the
down
back.
Did he just act that out? What was
Yeah,
that?
like he'd been shot. I
Down
think that
goes
he was
Frazier.
offended by that flag.
What was that?
Or else he was perhaps overreacting to some extracurricular stuff. I don't know.
They're backing it up, so I'm guessing it's on them.
That looked like a soccer flop.
Miles Robinson, man, I can't say enough about him here tonight. I mean, he's really just been all over this field and hitting hard.
I talked to him before the game. I just asked him to please be nice tonight, and he said, yes, sir.
He's a game changer. You know, you got a good defensive line in front of you. If you're a good linebacker, it can change the game completely. And that's what we've seen all year with this defense.
You're a
Barnwell
little soft over there, Dion. You might want to turn your own mic up just a tad.
Okay.
As the Hosses are looking at this, I decided
Hosses.
finally in the 4th quarter it was time to tell him to turn his microphone up.
there.
Thanks, guys.
There's number 9.
Yeah, Austin's back out, which is great to see that he's not hurt. Man, he might be hurt, but he's a tough kid, and he's out making it happen.
And Miles is the one who put a real hard lick on him earlier. And that's
Nice,
an
Nate.
8 Sturm interception at the 35-yard line. Nate still
Miles.
running flags going all over the place. I didn't see the
Yeah, you got a bunch of blindside blocks.
Miles put number 14 into the rails, checked him into the boards pretty hard.
It must have been illegally.
Well, yeah, I was getting ready
Defensive player.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say that Barnwell's, I know they're getting pretty frustrated. They're competitive, they're young, and they want to win, and so they've had a few chippy fouls, and here we come back with one as well. Defenseless player, that was it, but.
Well, we don't want to see that.
No.
But that's, of course, on the run back after the interception, so the Sharks should retain possession. They're marking it off from the 25-yard line, spot of the foul.
Yeah, should be 15 yards maybe.
Yeah, it looks like a 15-yarder. So the Sharks, instead of having number 2 in the end zone or darn close to it, will take it over 1st and 10 at the 40. And we'll see. The first half of this ball game belonged to Aiden Manavian at quarterback, and now he's coming back out there after Tanner quarterbacked the entire third quarter with Logan Hamilton mostly in at running back. Logan's still in there. Looks like a little bit of confusion on our offense.
Oh, they don't have a football.
Well, that would be confusing. And the ball boy making the run a shame. Throws it out there, and he gets a big round of applause. The cowbell's all shaking. And he gets a high five as he comes off the field. Coach Chad Wilkes with a lot to be proud of here tonight as the Sharks have it 1st and 10 on the Wahosas 40-yard line. Aiden has a receiver complete to Gavin Gaspar. Gavin down to the 25 with another. Next one.
Banging.
First down.
I was looking at the War Horses schedule this year. They lost to Hampton County 33-7.
That's who we're facing next week, brother. The Hurricanes, which is 2 schools combined. They added a single A school to a double A school and came up with a double A school that's marching through the playoffs. And they're building a whole new high school there, somewhere between Hampton and Estill. As that pass was incomplete, Will Virgilio unable to bring it in. Estill is pretty far out in the country. Well, all those places are, but there is one town in Hampton County that has probably never produced a good football player, but it has produced lots of good people. It's Brunson, South Carolina.
Oh.
That's where generations of my family hail from. So next week I'll be pulling for the Hurricanes. As a handoff here, I couldn't tell who the running back was there. Could you, Swish?
Logan
Hamilton, who's having himself quite a night at the running back position. Has us looking now at a 3rd down and 1 situation. He comes off. Cale Gilchrist, 33, going in. There's not a stoplight in Brunson, but there are railroad tracks that go through there. Cale takes the handoff. My goodness, how did he slip through that defensive line? And he has done more somersaults tonight than any running back I've ever seen on the Landsharks.
He's a physical, tough, strong kid.
It's a 1st down and goal situation on the 8-yard line. And that's going to be a keeper, I think.
Yep, touchdown. Cale
Gilchrist. It wasn't a keeper. It was a handoff to Cale.
Is that his 3rd tonight? I think it's his 3rd, isn't it?
Might be.
I know he got the first one, and I know he got that one. Not sure if there was one in between. I'm losing track here as the Sharks have had 6 touchdowns tonight. They're leading it 42-6.
So different from the first 2 games where we were throwing the ball all over the field, and now we've just been pounding and grounding it. So,
well, it's taken a little bit of time, I'm sure, for the team and the coaches to adjust to losing their starting quarterback, Albert Rodbach, who himself was one of our primary runners, and then the freshman James O'Connor,
yep,
who also went out in the last game of the regular season. And so now we see Logan Hamilton, we see Cale Gilchrist, we see number 4 Trey Brown.
Strickler,
we see number 7. Virgilio in there at running back sometimes.
Yep. So we've had 5 running backs so far. Dion, we got any updates over there?
Gray, 28. Strum Thurman, 17. Looks like it's still in the third quarter over there. Abbeville, 16. Silver Bluff, 6. And then Hampton County's 30-7 over Andrew Jackson currently.
So both games are runaways. Man, I'm looking forward to playing Hampton County next
Yep.
week.
It's going to be a good one. What else you got for us, Dion?
Somerville, 42. Carolina Forest, 28.
It's a big score.
And then Irmo is beating up on James Island, 27-7.
I think Irmo, that showdown between South Florence and Irmo is going to be an incredible football game.
Irmo, the Yellow Jackets, I think.
Yep.
Suburb of Columbia. For those of you from far-flung places like Indiana.
In Maine.
And Maine. Quinn Mahoney puts this one into the end zone, and Quinn's having himself quite a night.
He's had a great night. I think only one of those 6 kickoffs has been returnable.
Yeah, they returned it for about 30 yards, too.
Yeah, that was number 1, I think, on that return. Man, he's quite a good athlete. He was also their backup quarterback, and I'm sure he was grateful to see number 9, Cameron Austin, come back out on the field after Cameron just about got sawed in half by Miles Robinson. So now Barnwell's going to see what they can do here. The junior quarterback drops to throw. He's pressured. He has a man. It's complete, but he's brought down right away. And I think they might have lost yardage on that. No, they're going to give him a yard or 2.
There's Johnny Gunn. Quick close and great stop there.
Number 30, Johnny, get your gun. Fires in there like a bullet. You got anything? Come on.
His grandma likes him to be called Jonathan.
Well, we ain't doing that. Sorry, Grandma. 2nd and 8. Handoff.
Oh, no.
And the running back, number 3,
is out.
His way through. That's Jordan Peoples, one of the Peoples brothers. He crosses the 50. He's having a great run, the biggest play of the night for the Hosses. Down to the 30-yard line.
Man, he just would not give up and just broke. He went through about 7 of our guys.
And give these Hosses credit, man. They're not giving up. They're out there playing just as hard as they were in the first half, where they ended the first quarter, where they ended with the score all tied up at 6-6. It's only been after that the Sharks took control here on their sort of home field. Peoples all alone, not Peoples, Austin all alone in the quarterback, rolling out to his left. He doesn't want to run it. He's brought down and tackled.
I think Ben just ate him.
Yeah, he just.
Ben couldn't possibly still be hungry after all the eating he's been doing here tonight. Ben Britton, as we've noted a number of times, going to be playing Division I football next year for Army up in West Point, New York. And Barnwell's now got a 2nd down and 10, and they'll be glad when Ben moves up north. Quick throw over to the wide receiver over on the right-hand side, but our defensive back closes in rapidly.
That was A.J. Zarzaka playing out there.
The linebacker, number 2, was the receiver there, Logan Sturkey, who was listed as one of their star players. He looks like he might be a little dinged up, but he's staying out on the field. And Sturkey has not had a huge night tonight, but really nobody has for Barnwell.
I tell you what, looking forward to next year, these guys are going to be a pretty doggone team.
They are, maybe you have a little bit of an off year, although an off year getting to the 3rd round of the playoffs is not really an off year. But for Barnwell, you want to go all the way, and it looks pretty certain at this point that's not going to happen as the Land Sharks have encircled them. The fins are in the water.
I got to tell you, that game in 2019 when we went up there, I've never been to a greater high school football atmosphere ever. Such a cool old stadium. That place was packed.
When I went down to that game, the first place I went to was the cemetery to see some of my past relatives. It's home down there for me, and I always pull for the Hosses.
Hosses.
when they happen to meet
Whoa.
the Sharks. You're getting better at that.
I'm working on it. I'm going to say it in my sleep tonight.
I want to hear Crafty do it. Come on, man.
There's no way.
Crafty has too much self-respect
I have none.
to demonstrate a genuine, authentic Southern accent. And the Sharks are going to take it over here now.
Good defensive stand after that long run.
Yep, you're right. You're right, Neon. I'm not calling you Neon, I'm going Neon.
Neon. All right.
Tanner back in now, quarterback, standing at the 25. He's blitzed from his right.
Man, 6 came in untouched.
And Tanner tried to get away from it. Loses only about a yard. That could have been a lot worse. Mike Strickler hadn't been out there much in the second half. Now he's back in at running back. Travis Robinson, number 17, in at H-back. Haven't seen him a whole lot tonight either.
Anderson.
Sorry, Anderson. What did I say?
Robinson.
Oh, yeah, I was thinking of Miles.
Thinking of brothers again.
Go, Mike.
Mike Strickler takes that handoff, picks up 5 or 6. So now it'll be third down and about 5. Keeping that clock going as the ball boy runs off the field. Do we know who the ball boy is?
We got a few out there. Cole Strickler, Blake, and Knox.
Cole Strickler?
The ball boy? He's a little
Yeah.
tall.
Cole Hamilton.
Cole Strickler's right here.
Cole Hamilton.
I would have noticed that.
I would like to see Cole Strickler, the ball boy.
That's number 8, but self-inflicted.
Ball start on the offense.
So now it was a false start on the Sharks. And now we're looking at a third down and 10 as the clock crosses the 5-minute mark here at Dion Welch Field
Here we go.
in North Charleston. Next week we're going to be at the Citadel.
Not confirmed yet.
Well, that's the rumor that I've heard. The
Not
Citadel.
confirmed yet.
Oh, my goodness. Number 44 inflicted a suplex on the running back, Mike Strickler, at that time.
Man, 44 has been playing hard all game.
Yeah,
He really
he's
has.
tough.
Let's
Is he a
give
senior?
credit to Clayton Zizit. He's a junior. He'll be
Junior.
back
Ooh.
next year as well. Lots of juniors. Their quarterback. Number 44, their primary defensive lineman. And now it's going to be another punting opportunity for
Roll, baby, roll. That's a big punt.
all the way down inside the 20 for Quinn Mahoney. Almost to the 15-yard line. And Barnwell
60-yarder maybe?
at the 4-minute mark. He's got a long way to march.
See some new players coming out. Cooper Rowe, Clayton Ball. Got our 2s in. There's Maddox Crawford. Travis Anderson.
Speaking of Oceanside alumni, I saw Maddox's brother Jalen West here earlier, coming to see his old team play. He coached here back in the day.
Oh, missed tackle.
Completed pass, and this receiver has more than a first down, proving to be very elusive again. Number 13, Kazir Wesley.
He's a
He
good
had
athlete.
that big play, I think, earlier.
He's a really good athlete.
First down, Barnwell.
And let's see what year Kazir is.
I think he's a junior.
And you're correct, Swish.
Lots of juniors on that team. They're going to be terrific next year.
Yeah,
35 playing cornerback closest to us. I don't have a roster sheet, so.
2 deep safeties for the Sharks as we tackle the running back for a minimal gain.
Trey Brown playing linebacker.
It's good to see Trey back there. I know Graham Robinson is. 35 is Ace Jernstedt, a freshman. That kid's lightning quick.
Jordan Peoples was on the carry there. He's in at the running back spot for the Hosses. Number 9 rolling out to the right side. Has a receiver
nice catch.
downfield.
That's a heck of a throw.
That is right on target,
it to him?
on the run.
They gave
And
it to him.
Barnwell.
I don't think they gave it to him.
They did not. Nope.
That's a tough throw, rolling to your right, and he just sent a laser.
Man, I thought that was a completion.
It
I
looked
couldn't
good.
see quite where the receiver's feet went down. They must have been out of bounds. Or maybe he didn't catch it. At any rate, it's a 3rd down and almost 9 to go now for my Husses. And they're in a throwing mode here as the quarterback, Austin,
There you go.
keeps this one, picks up a yard or 2.
Trey Brown and
Hampton, sorry.
Johnny Gunn.
Hampton up 37-14 now with 3 minutes left to play in that game.
Ooh, just got an update. Providence Day just got a safety. They're down 27-26 with the ball, less than 4 minutes to play.
Ooh, good game.
Wow. Quite a game
comeback.
going on. Where is that being played?
I don't know.
Raven Gap beat the Chargers like a drum earlier in the season. This was a chance for redemption for Coach Chad Greer to win his 3rd straight state championship for Providence Day up in Charlotte. And he's having a little more anxiety tonight than our Chad Wilkes is here in Charleston as the Land Sharks are firmly in control, 43-6, with a minute and about a half to go in this ball game. And let's see what the Sharks are going to do with this minimal amount of time left to go here. An impressive outing tonight.
They're just going to knee it out here.
Sharks did give up their first touchdown of the playoffs against the Wahosses earlier. As we take the victory formation.
Come on, 15. He just knocked Tanner over. That's cheap. I mean, you know you're taking the knee. That's the referee needs to say to both sides, none of that funny business.
And the clock keeps it going. It's going to hit 1 minute here in 5 seconds.
And there goes
All right,
15.
good win, guys.
Yeah, good call by the coach.
Barnwell, I failed to mention earlier, brought a band with them, which is something that we don't have. And they have played their hearts out over there. A good crowd from Barnwell has driven their way over to North Charleston to see this ball game. And those fans in Barnwell, they're die-hard. They love their war horses.
That's the game right there,
Ball
fellas.
game.
And this game's now coming to an end. And that's going to be your final score. Oceanside Land Sharks 43. Barnwell Wahosses 6. And redemption has been achieved for Oceanside. And now next week, the Land Sharks will play.
Should play.
Hampton County.
That game's not over yet. 37-14.
I'm getting all kinds of texts and things blowing up about the Providence Day game. And they're playing at Raven Gap, according to Gabby Gause, the best team mother in the history of football.
Agreed.
So the teams are shaking hands here, Swish. We're going to play Hampton County next week. They were dominant tonight over Andrew Jackson. We were dominant tonight over Barnwell. Barnwell and Hampton County played in the regular season.
Yep. Hampton County beat them 33-7.
Correct.
And so we might have a ball game on our hands next week.
I believe so.
And we don't know quite yet where it's going to be. Rumor is it might be at the Citadel, but I don't care if it's in Alaska. We're going to be there, and we hope you will join us. This is Robert Brunson along with Chris Swisher, Dion Welch, and Scott Kraftchick. Thank you for joining us, and have a great Oceanside next one weekend.
Dion out.